NASCAR RaceHub is back on a Thursday. More silly season news coming out earlier this week. Daniel Suarez announcing he will not return to the number 96 in Gaunt Brothers Racing next year, and add his name to the long list of free agents for 2021. We will continue to follow this story, and regardless of what's next, it's already been a successful ride. As NASCAR RaceHub celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month, it's a good time to reflect on Daniel's career. He had a lot to overcome moving to the U.S. from Mexico, but he's delivered tremendous results, and he's not done yet.
Quiere convertirse en el primer latinoamericano en lograrlo, ganar un campeonato en serie nacional de NASCAR. Suarez, Daniel Suarez, campeón de la serie Xfinity.
That was something very special because obviously it was never done by a non-American. And as a Mexican, was born in Mexico, raised in Mexico, didn't speak English, didn't have anything when I came here. I was not thinking about the big trophy. I was not thinking about what was going to happen, of the history behind it. I was just driving as hard as I could, and I was living the moment. When I started that season, I knew that I could win races, and I knew I could drive race cars. But we are in a sport where it's not enough just to be talented as a race car driver. You need to have a good group of leadership in the team pushing for you. So, you know, a lot of people don't really know this, but heading into the 2016 season, in January, I was interviewing crew chiefs for me. So I knew what I wanted, but I had to live the present, and I had to work in the present. I couldn't worry about the past. I couldn't worry about the team maybe didn't have enough confidence on me, and they didn't want to put a crew chief with experience from the house, and I had to hire a different one. And by the end of the day, it worked out perfect for me, and it really taught a lot to myself of how I was gonna have to work super hard in the sport to be able to be successful. For me, as a kid, from Mexico, about racing, NASCAR, it's just completely different because we don't have any go-karts ovals in Mexico. That doesn't exist. All I knew was everything I was watching on TV. The way that actually I got into NASCAR was because of NASCAR Mexico. Once I was successful in Mexico, winning races and everything, I was just looking what was next, right? And the next step was to come here to the United States and start again, because that's exactly what it is. It's pretty much to start over again. I didn't speak the language, I didn't know the culture, I didn't know drivers, race teams, connections. I didn't have anything. It's almost impossible. So I had to go through a lot of different barriers to be able to make it to the NASCAR. That I feel like today, if more drivers want to come either from Mexico or from Latin America, at least they can come ask me, and they can see a little path that between myself and NASCAR we've been building. When I moved to the U.S., I had the goal of winning races and winning championships. I didn't care about anything else. Today, that goal is still the same, but I have added on the side of that, how to change the culture of the sport. Like, to change that culture is a process. Even though the NASCAR has been working extremely hard with me, and to put the minority, drivers and pit crews and different programs to tell everyone that they're welcome in the sport, to have people understand that it's not the same than 40, 50 years ago. And obviously, I'm part of that process, being the only Mexican driver to run full-time in the Cup Series. So just feel very proud of that, but at the same time, I feel like we still have a lot of work to do, and we have to keep pushing.
Some great thoughts there from Daniel Suarez, and if you were to watch a movie on his career, you would likely at the end say, great movie, but that would never happen. The reality is it did happen, and it really says what he's overcome in his career and throughout his life, Bob.
It sure has. And I mean, what NASCAR has done with NASCAR Mexico and other regions too, to bring people into the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series and give them that chance. And I think Daniel's a great example, and he's the reason why other drivers want to do this, because he's been able to come over here and be successful, winning the Cup or win the Xfinity Championship, being successful in the Cup Series. And and I know him personally. enough to know that he is such a great guy. So it's cool to see that he's been able to get to this point from where he was a few years ago, not even speaking English, and what hurdles and the culture he talks about. All that stuff is really helping bring other, whether it's mechanics or spotters or whatever it might be, over here from different regions to help out in the Cup Series.
Yeah, you know, Bobby, it's hard for a young kid that maybe grows up in Charlotte, North Carolina, who is around stock car racing, who got to race Legends cars and late models, to move into NASCAR and to even make one start, much less win a championship and run in the Cup Series. So I can't even fathom how impossible of a challenge that may seem to grow up in Monterey, to have a language barrier, to not understand the culture, to move here and understand race cars and communication and shocks and springs and all the things that we take for granted, you know, growing up here racing. So well, what a tremendous story, and it's inspiring to hear something like that, you know, the American dream, it still exists.
And you can't fake winning a championship. I mean, he is a very, very talented kid behind the wheel.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, when he won the Xfinity Championship driving for Coach Gibbs, I mean, you could see his career really just like, okay, this is, you know, his next step. What's it going to be? Well, it happened really quick for him. You know, when Carl left, he was in the Cup Series over the period of 2 weeks over the off season. So it really was probably more of a challenge than he was, you know, the next step could have been. But I think Daniel, again, he has shown and proven that he can compete at this level. It's been a tough year for him. They haven't had the practice that they would need as far as a small team goes. But I think with the right resources, the right chemistry, and the right situation, I know Daniel can go out there and win races. So it's just a matter of finding that at this time. But, you know, I think he just is he's an amazing guy, and I hope he just continues some success here.
Yeah, I think you said it right, Bobby. Timing is everything. And I think timing back in 2016 with Scott Graves and Joe Gibbs Racing, that they had a great combination, won races, won the championship. And I don't think the timing has been right for Daniel since that point. So Daniel deserves a top-tier ride in the Cup Series. And we need an international star like Marcos Ambrose, Juan Pablo Montoya. I think Daniel Suarez fits that role, and the NASCAR industry needs someone like him here.
We just need Daniel, because every time you see him, he's got a smile on his face, right, and that's infectious, as we all know. And we're going to continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month on the Hub. You want to stay tuned for that.